Good morning, everybody. Good to be with you this morning. I am back from Italy. I had an awesome time. I was absolutely war slam out. I've never been so tired in my life. The jet lag was real with me. But I had a great time, and what a beautiful, beautiful country over there. Their history, thousands of years old. We don't have anything like that in America. I think everybody should go to another country and see what they're doing over there. It makes you realize how small America is, how our culture has been infected by so many others because, hey, we have our history is about 300 years old. So it was an incredible trip. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, and one of the things that I thought while I was there, well, when I got home, really, I was so busy the whole time I was there. I didn't have time to think about anything else. I barely called Glenn once a day. That was at night when we got back in. They're 5 hours ahead of us, so it was, probably about 5 o'clock in the day for him, and it was 8 o'clock at night for me, 8 or 9 o'clock. I was so tired I was ready to go to bed. I barely even talked to him. And y'all know that was a lot for me. I told him I'm never going out of the country again without him. He's got to go with me. So I may not ever go out of the country again. I'm glad I did it. But one of the things I told him, I said, I didn't even know if I was going to have anything to share with y'all today. I don't every week, and I may or may not. But this week I told him, I said, I'm probably not going to have anything because I feel like I didn't spend time with the Lord. I did my daily Bible reading, but other than that, I didn't have any time to spend with the Lord at all. And one of the things I said, I got back last Saturday night, and early Sunday morning, I got up and I said, I cannot wait to get to my coffee. They have extremely strong coffee over there. So I couldn't wait to get to my light brand coffee, my light coffee breakfast blend. I couldn't wait to get to it here and put lots of creamer in it because I actually like a little coffee with my creamer. But I couldn't wait to get back in my routine. I said, I just cannot wait to get back to the routine. And I got up early that morning, Sunday morning, sat down with my coffee and actually spent some time with the Lord. And I had it completely alone, completely by myself. And that is something that I will say in my last 10 years particularly, that's something that I strive to do every single day, is to stay in that routine. Now, there are days that I get off, but normally I'm not off my routine for a whole week like I was this past week. And I realized I was so dry spiritually by the time I got home, because I was just grabbing a little baby snack at the most of anything of the Lord the whole time I was there. So I was like, okay, Lord, what is this in me? And I was looking at the scripture about Jesus. I looked up, I said, okay, what kind of routine did Jesus? Jesus is our greatest example. And, I was saying, okay, what is who has the greatest example? There were several in there. Daniel had a great routine that he did every day. Moses went to the tent of meetings every day to meet with God. But Jesus had the best. And to me, it was all summed up in one scripture. And that is in Mark 1:35. And that scripture says, in the early morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, went away to a secluded place, and prayed. That's where he spent time with God. He got up early while it was still dark. Now, there are a lot of people that like to argue with that point, that they can do it at night. I'm not one of those people. You might be. I would probably have a very good argument against that, because by the end of the day, you're tired. You've thought, your mind has been 1,000 different places all day long, and to zero in on the Lord is sometimes difficult. It would be impossible for me. I'm not that person. I'm an early person, no doubt. So he got up early, got up when it was still dark, and he went away to a secluded place. he had to get away from the people. I don't have to get away from people so much as I have to get away from myself a lot of times. But he got away and he got time with just the Lord in a secluded place. He went away and he prayed. He spent time. There are three things in that I see. Number one, it was consistently. You know, if you really want to produce fruit, if you want to have good fruit producing in your life, then you need a good routine. Anytime that you see somebody that's doing something, and anytime in my life that I've made gains, such as whenever I was running, back when I was running, the only time I really had gains in my time and my finishing times and all that was when I did it on a consistent basis. If I left a few days out here and there and just haphazardly did it, I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to see the same results. You get real results whenever you are consistent. And you get the same thing in the Spirit. When you're consistent, you get results. You get the fruit of the Spirit. You get the fruit of that routine. The fruit of that consistency is walking in the Spirit and being in the presence of God. That consistency, Jesus did the same thing. The second thing, intentionality. Jesus made a point of getting up early and going to a secluded place. That's hard for a lot of us. If you've got younger kids, if you got, Glenn, it's just Glenn and I here, so we both, a lot of times he'll go upstairs to his study and I stay down here in the den and do my studying. We both are early risers, but we give each other time and space. And that's the best time of the day to me whenever I have that time with the Lord. But I intentionally get in a place, in a spot, in my recliner, and make that time all about God. It's an intentional thing that I do. Hopefully every day. I'm not saying I do it every day. I'm like anybody else. I might want to sleep in or whatever happens, but it is a routine in my life. And when I miss it, I miss it. The third thing is intimacy, is spending intimate time with the Lord during that time whenever I get up with Him. When I get up during that time, yes, of course, 1,000 things still want to run through my mind. One of the best things I've learned to handle that is to write it down and think about it later. Let it go for that moment, and I think about it later. But having that intimate time with Him, there's no greater time than spending that time with Him. Because when we spend that time with Him intimately, then we're treating it like it's a real relationship. There are things like when I was in Italy, I'll be honest, I was not acting like I had a real relationship. Now, I'm not saying I was acting a fool while I was out there, but I was not intimate with Him. I was not really spending the time with Him and receiving from Him as much as giving back and being thankful. And, I had my quick prayer, I had my quick little Bible reading, 5 to 8 minute Bible reading. That's not enough. That is not enough to have an intimate relationship with somebody. I wouldn't do that with anybody else, and I'm certainly not going to do it with my Father. So I was greatly challenged by that week, and I have been challenged all week to get back into my routine. And I'm happy to say I'm back on the wagon. I'm doing it great. I'm doing it. And I love it. I love that time. And I would encourage all of you to get that routine. Routine is going to give you results in the Spirit. A spiritual routine is going to give you results in the Spirit. If you're wanting that, if you're tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, get in that routine. Start spending time. Be intentional. Be consistent. And be intimate with the Lord. I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon.